Oh, God. Greetings, Cauldron of Weird fans. Welcome back. It is time for another video. Now we're going to be doing something a little different today, and this isn't going to be something that I normally do. So, what we're doing today is we are going to be going over what my 5 favorite releases were of the spring. Since summer literally begins today, the day this video gets released, I would like to review what my favorite albums that were produced, were unleashed to the public, and we're gonna do this in chronological order, so the dates of which they were released. So, the first one of my 5 favorite spring releases is Trivium, What the Dead Men Say.
What the dead men say, it's just between us. What the dead men say, you can't let go. What the dead men say.
Now, this was an album I was already seriously excited for. Trivium is one of my favorite bands, and I've always had a very strong soft spot for them, so this might be a lot of bias talking, but this was a very good Trivium album. I think that it's not my favorite one, but I definitely think this was a strong release, and I think it will get a lot of good play, a lot of good recognition. If festivals were happening, I think this would be good for festival rotation. Maybe we'll get that in 2021, but there were some very strong songs on this record. I think the singles were all really, really good. I will say, out of the singles, Catastrophist is my favorite, and Bleed Into Me was also pretty high up for me. It was Amongst the Shadows and Stones. This song is absolutely outstanding, and it definitely helps bump the album up as a whole. I don't think there's a bad song on this record. I think they're all really good Trivium songs. They really get the point across. They really showcase where the band has gotten to in recent years, and I really love the sound of it. So the first spring release that really caught my attention was Trivium. The second one, The Used.
What if you found a gun? Would you use it like I did? Put a bullet in my head.
This album is called Heartwork. I fucking love this album. This album was such a good album. There was such a nostalgic feeling for me listening to this. I believe that there was Blow Me is one of the strong points of this record. I really enjoyed The Lighthouse. I really enjoyed listening to Clean Cut Heels. It's not the Used of old, but there are songs that definitely give you that feeling that you're listening to the Used of old, and it's kind of all over the place, I will say, but it's a really, really good album. I absolutely adored it. I had a great time listening to it. Every single one of these albums that came out, by the way, I was listening to them for about a week straight, other than the final ones we're going to get to, but we'll touch on that in a second. The third album we are going to be covering in this is not a rock album, it is not a metal album, it's a rap album. Run the Jewels 4.
You probably free us from the ages 1 to 4. Around the age of 5, you shipped away for your body to be stored. They promise education, but really they give you tests and scores.
So, some people are not aware of this, but I love Run the Jewels. These guys are awesome. Now, why do I love this album so much? In particular, if we're going to be straightforward about it, if we're going to be straightforward about why I love this record so much, has everything to do with the aggressive nature of it. It has everything to do with the overall feel of the record, with the overall content, the lyrical messages of the songs. This is an aggressive, angry, political record. Anyone who knows me is going to understand that's right up my damn alley. No, this is great. This is a fantastic record. And if you like rap at all, you need to listen to this. It's a fantastic record. Strong songs. I believe Out of Sight was one of the songs I really liked. Walking in the Snow is my personal favorite, and Just, featuring Pharrell Williams. These are outstanding songs. This whole record is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable record, and I cannot speak highly enough of it. The next one on our wonderful list, the fourth album. Now, these last two actually came out a day apart, so I had to actually split the time that I've been listening to these. So, on the 18th of June, we had the release of... Now, I'm gonna fuck up the title of this album, I'm sure. Palimpsest? Anyway, it's the new record from Protest the Hero.
My sisters and brothers, they hate it so bad to see me go west like someone gone mad.
Oh my goodness. This album is absolutely ungodly. I love it. It's so good. There is all this wonderful guitar nerd sounds that you're going to be getting out of this record. There's all sorts of wonderful, like, bits and pieces and little, like, lyrical messages that'll be filtering in through certain songs that, like, once they click, you'll be like, oh, holy shit. I had a couple of those moments in this record. I genuinely love it. The Migrant Mother, The Canary, the first two songs on the album, absolutely blew me away. Let me try and remember how to say this. Soliloquy? The seventh track. I don't know how to say the title, but it's a damn good song. Yeah, this record is nuts, and I was going crazy listening to it. I was going absolutely crazy. It was exactly what I wanted from Protest the Hero. Now, I've been listening to Protest the Hero for a long time. I believe it was an NHL game in maybe 2007, like NHL 07, I think, maybe, that had Divinity Within on it. That's a good song. And that's what got me into them. And this, if you don't know a lot of Protest the Hero and you only know a few songs, I think this would be a fantastic album to actually, like, drag you into the rest of the album. Or into the rest of their catalog. Because if you love really technical music, if you love that style of singing that their vocalist has, I think this is like the perfect guitar nerd band. But I think that they're just heavy enough that they can, like, translate that around and appeal to a greater audience. I think this album is fantastic, but we'll get to scores soon. The final album on this, from my favorite of the spring releases, and maybe this has something to do with recency bias, but Lamb of God's self-titled record. Ooh, boy. Wow. Now, I've been listening to this record for the last few days. I'm talking probably the last 3 days. This is the only thing I've listened to. Can I even begin to tell you how unbelievable this whole album is. This is a grand slam from Lamb of God. There was not a song on this record in the entire 45 minutes of its runtime that I disliked. There was not one song on here that I sat and was like, yeah, I don't know. The only thing I wasn't crazy about with this album, and this is just if I'm being like really, really picky, was that the entire first 5 songs of this record all did the same thing, where they would start really, really soft, and like they'd have a really soft opening to it, and then it would like just bang and hit it off with the crazy sounds. The whole first half of the album did that, and it was making me laugh a little bit, but that's only if I'm being like super picky. This is this album's a gut punch. It's a total gut punch. I'm a huge fan of it. It's nothing I didn't want to hear from Lamb of God. Memento Mori is a great song. Checkmate's a great song. New Colossal Hate was out of this world. I really liked Routes that features Chuck Billy. I love the sound of that. His features on there were well orchestrated. I think Jamie Josta's features in Poison Dream were really strong as well. This is a damn good album. This is a damn good album. Now we're going to jump into how I rate these albums out of 10 on our typical rating scale. So the first one, we'll go back to Trivium. Like I said, this is a strong Trivium album. It is not my favorite. That would probably still be Ascendancy, but it definitely is a showcase type of record for where the band is now. I think it's despite how incredible the Sin in the Sentence was, I think that this follows that record up very, very effectively and is not going to do anything to damage them. So I give that record an 8.5 out of 10. The next one was Heartwork, and this is probably, honestly, my least favorite out of the entire group of these, what I would call my favorite releases of the spring. That is not to say it's bad, but there are parts of this record where I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is happening? So, like, it definitely, like, takes you out of the groove and out of the moment in certain parts. So, Heartwork gets a rating of 7.5. Words are hard for me. We're going into the last 3. So, Run the Jewels 4 is a 10 out of 10 album. It's a perfect album. There's not a song I hated on this album. It was so unbelievably good. And I'll tell you, rap isn't my thing normally. Like, I enjoy rap, but I don't love rap. I love this album. It's so charged. It's so aggressive. Like, this shit just rocks. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. Protest the Heroes record. I'm not going to try and say the name again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable record. Like I said, lots of guitar nerd stuff. It doesn't ever feel like really stagnant, even on the songs where it moves slower. It's not like taking you out of the record. It's all just an incredible album. This record is going to get, it's a phenomenal record. This one is going to get a 10 out of 10 as well. Lamb of fucking God is getting a goddamn from me. The new Lamb of God record gets a goddamn, and I'll be damned if this wasn't the best damn record that came out of the entire spring. Like, at all. Period. End of story. This was one of the most unyielding records I've ever heard from them. This is Lamb of God's new record is one of my is now one of my favorite Lamb of God records. Period. And that's not something that I say very lightly, because there's some really, really strong records in their catalog. Now, if I'm being completely honest, 2012's Resolution is my favorite Lamb of God record. I know I'm among the minority in that one, but this is my opinion and my show, so this is how we do it. But these are all awesome albums. I highly recommend them. Give the artists their due credit and go download these. Spotify, iTunes, whatever platform you use to stream it, or if you really want to be generous, go to their stores and buy it, because they all deserve it. Fantastic stuff from these bands. I can't wait to see what this summer has, because I will say, with all the crazy shit going down, the music this year has been pretty solid. So, thank you to all the musicians who continue to fill our lives with something to live for. So I'm Corey. This has been my favorite albums of the spring. I'm signing out. Auf Wiedersehen. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Check us out on Facebook at Cauldron of Weird, on Instagram and Twitter at Sea of Weird. You can check out me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Cauldron of Weird. And I am out. Peace.